Good morning, good morning. Big Mike, how's it going? Good morning to everyone today. It is Friday, the 22nd of May. And we've got some interesting news. I don't know about you, but there is some interesting things that have come out last night and yesterday. Um, I hope everyone's having a wonderful morning. Awesome. Good to hear, Mike. Now, we'll get straight into it. I'm not 100% with the implications of Tencent owning things, but System Shock franchise will be going forward under Tencent. Um, I believe they are a Chinese company that runs a lot of uh, businesses that do gaming, a lot of gaming companies, a lot of that. I've read some of the comments here, like this comment chain, where people are saying that the remake and the enhanced edition are not going to be affiliated with Tencent, only saying obviously System Shock 3 and things like that. So if you were interested in those, apparently that's the case. Yes, I'm not going to get into the political discussion on regards to Tencent, but at least we know that System Shock will be going forward, regardless. So we've got that one out of the way. Let's look at this big informational piece, which is that id Software are actually going to be removing the Doom Eternal Denuvo Anti-cheat that was up, which was in the previous update for the PC release. Now they go into a lot of detail in the Reddit post, which I will link in the chat if anyone is interested in checking that out, and looking at that a little bit more in depth. But basically, the reason that they went ahead and did the update that added this was basically to protect the integrity of the multiplayer game mode. Now, I can understand where they're coming from with that, but obviously it was not good for them to just do a quick fix. Something that is a level 0 like kernel, as we've seen, it's not something that the community and the online gaming community is happy with having as a solution in their games. So doing it just seems like a really silly move on their half. So they go into a little bit more details and explain some things here to say, some of the assumptions people had were wrong, and so it's a good bit of information for anyone who does have Doom Eternal to know that in the next PC only update 1.1 they will be removing the Denuvo anti-cheat, so that's good. Um, Props to everyone who spoke up about that. Some of it was worth going about, and it's good that it addressed it the way they did. It was really good. I believe Yong Yi did a good video on that as well. Um, Moving on to Command and Conquer and EA. Now, they're going to be releasing the source code for Red Alert and Command and Conquer. That is absolutely phenomenal. EA is doing something good. Now, we all know about EA. We don't really need to get into that discussion like at all. Um, but yeah, it's going to be the complete source code of the DLLs, the Tiberian Dawn DLL and the Red Alert DLL. And it's going to be released under the GPL version 3.0 license. I'm not particularly familiar with those licenses, but I believe that's a good one, a decent one that allows people to do mods and all of that without being too restricted. So yeah, as Kotaku says, it's a very cool move by EA, and These advertisements were distracting me. um, and they're going to be giving early access to uh, some mod makers, so they'll be able to design maps and have all this stuff created before the game even comes out. Which, if you aren't aware of, they're redoing Command and Conquer in HD, the first Command and Conquer in Red Alert, which is sick. And it looks sick, and it's pretty soon, so you should look out for that. A little bit of news that I only just heard about as well. Sea of Thieves is coming to Steam on June 3rd, very soon. It is a game that's been on my radar. I have had zero interest in picking it up because of it being Xbox and Windows 10 exclusive, but it's going to be coming out on Steam June 3rd. That's 2 weeks away, 10 days, if that. Full cross-play support too, so you'll be able to play with Xbox One players and Windows 10 players. If you already own the copy of the game on Windows 10 or Xbox, you will still need to purchase it on Steam. I expected that. I didn't believe that they would give a free copy on Steam across any platform like that. That doesn't make any sense. This just goes on to explain Sea of Thieves. I believe that the game has had a very big update recently, which makes it very different. Very, very different. So that's something that you could probably look forward to if you tried it and you weren't happy with it previously. You could totally give it a go again and see what happens. I'm interested. I'm interested. We got some more interesting news on the front of, say, piracy. G2A has paid the Factorio developer almost $40,000 over illegally obtained game keys. I'm glad that they're paying up. Factorio is a lovely game, absolutely fantastic. I love that game so much. I have not read this article, but apparently, reading it quickly here, there was a list of 321 keys that had been sold online illegitimately. After assessing a number of independent auditing companies and finding none of them would meet our agreement requirements, G2A decided that G2A should proceed with an internal investigation. Confirmed that 198 of Whoop's keys had been sold via its marketplace between March 2016 and June 2016. As a result, G2A paid out $40,000, which, as promised, 10 times the value of the full keys in question. Good. I don't know when this investigation was done, but I'm going to post this in chat so that there's a copy of this, so if you do want to read more about it. I literally opened this up just before the stream started, so I didn't get a chance. But G2A made a claim of a bold offer promising 10 times the value of any fraudulently obtained keys sold on its marketplace. Well, that's good. Because grey market sites harm indie developers the most out of all of the developers. Because not only are the keys generally obtained through specifically fraudulent means such as credit card fraud, the chargebacks that get issued to developers specifically if they sell them directly on their website, such as Factorio. I believe Factorio did sell keys directly from their website, and at the time of this, March 2016 to June 2016, this would have been back when it was still probably available directly from their site. So this would have been when the Factorio developer would have gotten chargebacks issued to them directly for these sort of grey market sales. So fantastic on G2A to actually, step up and make this change. If this grey market site sort of can move away from being a grey market site, that's good for them. Like Green Man Gaming, not a grey market site. G2A has been an incredibly large grey market site for a very long time, and they really need to step down on it. And this is really good for that. So if this can set the standard, if they can bring their standard up higher, if they can cut the bullshit, they may be a reputable online seller. But still, I do not suggest G2A. Moving on from that, before we get into the whole grey market site discussion. And Big Mike, love Factorio too. Yeah, absolutely love the game. I want it to be finished. They've released so many updates constantly, and as much as I love having a game that evolves that much, it's so hard to keep up with. So I have to play it for like 2 months every like 2 years and then just forget about it, because if I consistently keep playing it, it's just going to evolve so much while I'm playing it that I can't keep up. It's worse than an MMO. It's crazy, and it's not a bad thing. It's great. Um, I love that they release so many updates for the game, but yeah. So Gears of War 3, which is an Xbox exclusive, has um, footage of it being run on a PS3. Now, this is like 8 hours of PS3 footage from a build from May 19th, 2011. GameSpot covers it here. This is just a straight up a YouTube video, which I'm going to paste in chat. Anyone wants to see that. The frame rate is absolutely fucking abysmal, but it is running on a PS3. It has all the PlayStation-y bits on it. I did have a very quick look at this. Got a little bit of debug on it. But the footage is a byproduct of Epic's internal Unreal Engine 3 testing process, which utilized both Gears and Unreal Tournament and was never part of any actual product work for PS3. So this was just them testing Unreal Engine on a PS3, basically. And one of the ways they could do that is to just compile Gears of War 3 to run on the PS3. Fair enough. God, so many just things that just run when you don't have adblock. God, and wonder people why you use adblock all the time. Fuck. Jesus. Moving on from Gears of War 3 and keeping in the theme of PS3, we're going to go into the Scott Pilgrim game. And I don't know about how many of you know about the Scott Pilgrim game, but Ubisoft developed a Scott Pilgrim game, which was a 2D brawler. It was, I believe, released on PSN and Xbox. What did they used to call it? Xbox Arcade, I believe, on the 360. And it launched back in 2010. Yep. It was very shortly removed. I'm just reading this here really quickly. It was delisted in 2014, so it was barely up for 5 years. Xbox Live Arcade, there it is. We don't know why the game was taken down, but it was likely due to licensing issues, yes. So Brian Lee O'Malley, the creator of Scott Pilgrim, has actually tweeted about it very recently, the last 24 hours, and Ubisoft has done a thinking face. So this is a rumor, speculation, no idea what that could mean from Ubisoft. To me, it makes me very sad. I never got a chance to play the game properly, but kind of segueing into PS3 Gears of War, sort of RPCS3, the PlayStation 3 emulator, actually does work very well, and it kind of does play the Scott Pilgrim game, and I may have played it on that, and it runs really well and it's cool. So until it's available to purchase again, that is an alternative if you are seeking to play that. Unfortunately, that doesn't mean you can support Brian directly, and I would prefer to do that, but what are you gonna do? The game's fucking gone. I have purchased his books, so that's something, and the movie. I went and saw the movie, all of that stuff. But yes, when that comes out again, hopefully on the newer hardware, oh, on Switch, that would be so amazing. The pixel art from that game would fit the Switch tremendously. So Ubisoft, bring it out on Switch. Maybe I'll buy one of your games again finally. And the last piece of news I have right now, which I retweeted, is a rumor, not so much news, is that Silent Hill on PS5. It's a rumor that it will be a reboot, not in collaboration with Kojima or Sony. And Dusk Golem is just going through and explaining it in his tweets here, saying it is developed by Sony Japan Studios and will be a PS5 exclusive, but it's not like Sony is not buying the IP. The game is not a remake. It's a soft reboot, so it can be someone's first Silent Hill game. The game is playable and has a demo that will be shown around reveal. The details are not murky. There should be no miscommunication. So this person believes this to be true. If you believe that they believe that it could be true, then you could believe that it could be true. I believe that it's plausible. I have no reason to doubt that a new Silent Hill game is probably around somewhere. The complete nature of it, we don't know. But as I stated earlier in my tweet too, I'm very excited for Kojima to make an actual scary game. Death Stranding was absolutely phenomenal. So absolutely keen on Kojima to make his own scary game, which he has said he is interested in doing. So, yes, please. I want it. Sell it to me. Alright, that wraps up the news that I found for this morning, Friday the 22nd of May. There is likely a lot more that I missed. Those were the things that sort of stuck out to me, that were at least mildly interesting to me. Made a little bit of a talk about them. Interesting thing about Factorio there. I definitely didn't expect this to come out. But yeah, let's boot up a game, shall we? Get some fun started. Let me be right back after I set this up.